This young man is a rich young master, but he works at a construction site to make a living. Gujun doesn't want to inherit his family's fortune. He wants to be self-reliant. His mother is worried about Gujun, so she spent some money to hire a private detective to find out his whereabouts. Gujun, who doesn't know anything, is still working very hard. The construction supervisor also praised Gujun. After finishing the job, Gujun walked through the bustling crowd with his smelly body. Everyone looked at him with disdain and avoided him. Suddenly, a car came from somewhere at high speed. Because the car's brakes failed, the driver crashed into a fruit stall on the side of the road. A bouquet of flowers accidentally fell into Gujun's hands. The flower delivery man had to clean up the mess here, so he hoped that Gujun could help him deliver the wedding bouquet. Gujun hesitated for a moment and finally agreed to help the flower delivery man. When Gujun arrived, the moment the door opened, seeing the beautiful bride made Gujun's heart beat faster. He was stunned for a moment and then walked towards the bride. However, when she saw his dirty appearance, the bride covered her nose with her hand. Seeing this, Gujun deliberately walked straight towards the bride. Because he was too scared, Rara accidentally punched Gujun, causing his nose to bleed. Seeing this, Rara quickly apologized and helped him wipe away the blood. But she was not careful and he let the blood fall on her wedding dress. The wedding had not yet started, but everything was gradually becoming chaotic. Rara could not help but cry. Gujun hurriedly stopped Rara, who was crying. Then he quickly took the tools to deal with the blood stains on her wedding dress. He quickly dealt with the stains on the wedding dress. Then the wedding was about to begin. Rara turned back to thank and say goodbye to Gujun. He couldn't bear it, so he reluctantly said no. But life was not what Gujun thought. This is the fate of two chaebols. Because Rara is also the daughter of a wealthy family, her mother passed away right after giving birth to her. She grew up being pampered by her father. She was also very obedient and listened to him. Not only had Rara persisted in her passion for the piano for nearly 20 years, but her father had even arranged this wedding for her out of the blue. Rara didn't think much about it and happily agreed. Rara's future mother-in-law had her eye on the Rara family's assets. In order to receive a hospital as a dowry, although Rara's future mother-in-law didn't like Rara's straightforward personality, she still had to give in. Today was Rara's wedding. She entered the wedding hall to wait for her father to arrive, but Rara had already arrived, but she still hadn't seen her father. Just as Rara's father was about to enter the wedding hall, he received a phone call informing him that the company had gone bankrupt. He immediately had a heart attack and fainted on the spot. Rara's future mother-in-law in the wedding hall heard the news outside and immediately changed her attitude. She thought that the fortune had disappeared and Rara was no longer a rich young lady. After thinking for a while in front of the guests, she decided to drag her son away from the wedding. The guests present were all stunned by this scene. The wedding was the most beautiful day in a woman's life, but for Rara, this day was the day she lost everything. Her father passed away, her mother-in-law dragged her husband away, and all the property in the house was confiscated. Rara was extremely heartbroken. Her father's secretary told Rara that she needed to stay away for a while because the creditors were looking for her everywhere. After saying that, the secretary gave Rara a bag of money in her old car. The secretary told Rara to take good care of herself. That night, Rara sneaked home. Her villa had been auctioned, and the piano and other items inevitably became auction items. Rara cried while playing the piano, the sad notes coming from her fingers. On the other side, two strong men wanted to break into Gujun's residence. Gujun climbed down to the first floor using the fire escape. At this moment, Gujun went outside Rara's house and heard the soul-stirring piano music, which moved him to tears. Gujun had no home to return to, but he found a place he could go to on the billboard at the bus stop, which was Unpo, a city full of dreams and romance. Dr. Cha had also finished packing his luggage to say goodbye to his wife. In the place where the sea and sky were blue, Jeonnam and his mother were enjoying their leisurely days. Rara called her fiancé, but his mother turned off her phone. Jeonnam didn't dare to say anything either. Unable to ask anyone to help Rara, she had no choice but to rent a house herself. She quickly signed a rental contract with the broker. Rara used the 100 million won the secretary gave her to pay the entire rent. After Rara moved into her new house, she saw a nickname, Duru Sol Sol Lala Sol. This person left a comment under her social media account. This person told Rara that if she felt lonely, she could go to the city in the picture. A month later, a real estate agent suddenly came to see the house. Only then did Rara realize that she had been scammed. After Rara ran to the door of the intermediary agency that she had signed the contract with, she discovered that a group of people had already surrounded the place. Rara was confused and took out the contract to ask the woman next to her what had happened. The woman told her that this contract was not signed directly with the homeowner. Now everyone had to live on the street. Because Rara had suffered a series of blows, she carried her little dog to her parents' grave. She told her parents how much she missed them. When Rara was so hungry, she even tasted the dog food, but the taste was really hard to swallow. Suddenly, she remembered the person who left her a message. A thought flashed through Rara's mind. It was very possible that this person was someone she knew. This was the only person Rara could rely on right now. So Rara took the little dog and drove to Yunpo City in the photo. On the way to the city, the little dog Mimi suddenly showed strange behavior. Rara anxiously turned around and petted it, almost hitting Gujun, who was cycling. She quickly changed the direction of the car, but still caused Gujun to fall. Rara also fainted from the collision. Gujun stood up to check on the owner of the car. He was surprised to find that the person behind the wheel was Rara. A moment later, an ambulance arrived to take Rara and Gujun to the hospital. Coincidentally, the attending physician was Dr. Cha. He had just transferred to Yunpo not long ago. Gujun roughly treated the wound, then hurriedly went to the ward to check on Rara. After waking up, Rara found that her 2 hands were bandaged like a mummy. While Rara was still grieving, she saw the person she had met for the second time, Gujun. He told her that her little dog Mimi was undergoing surgery. Rara was both happy and sad, tears rolling down her cheeks. Gujun gently wiped her tears. Then Dr. Cha told Rara that her left hand was the most seriously injured. She had to wear a cast for 3 weeks. At night, Rara originally planned to find someone to help her. Unexpectedly, the other person went on a business trip. Rara helplessly collapsed and cried. Gujun reluctantly took out a tissue to wipe Rara's face, but then she remembered something. Rara asked Gujun why he was with her. Gujun said he came here to get compensation. He only asked for a small amount of money. Gujun only needed a bicycle and compensation for mental damage, but he didn't expect Rara to have any money left, and she even wanted to borrow money from him. Gujun took Rara back to the hospital room and intended to go home, but Rara had a lot of things waiting for him to do. Rara asked Gujun to get her some water, pull the curtains, and lift the mattress for her. Rara also asked Gujun to stay in the hospital room with her. In the end, he had to spread out a mat and sleep next to her bed. The next morning, a little girl moved into the hospital room. The girl's mother smiled and asked about the relationship between Gujun and Rara. Only then did the two realize that they were not lovers or siblings, but an awkward relationship between a creditor and a debtor. Dr. Cha came to examine the girl again. The girl's mother was worried that her injured finger would affect her piano playing. Rara heard this and realized that they were in the same profession, so Rara planned to perform an air piano performance for her. However, she injured her arm, so she looked like a zombie playing. Gujun had no choice but to interrupt Rara's exciting performance. Later, Doctor also came to check on her recovery. Rara complained that she couldn't sleep. The nurse and Gujun stood to the side listening. They immediately remembered her snoring in the afternoon and were speechless. The dog Mimi's surgery was a success. The veterinarian asked Gujun to pay a large sum of money. Rara had a habit of owing a lot of money, so she smiled and told Gujun to pay her first. When Rara was discharged from the hospital, she would sell her car to pay the money. The girl's mother in the next bed thought to herself that Rara was cheating Gujun out of love and money. On the other side, Jongnam went to Sion to ask about Rara's condition. Sion calmly said that he didn't need to worry. Rara was much stronger than he thought. Meanwhile, Rara was being fed by Gujun. She ate and drank with great satisfaction. After that, Rara kept asking Gujun to get her ice cream, juice, salad of course. All of these things were recorded as debts. Gujun was defeated by Rara. He could only take on part-time jobs to support her. Beauty salons, Korean food stores, Gujun were everywhere. After work, Gujun went home. Ha-jung, who liked him, came to find him again. She asked Gujun with concern. At the same time, Ha-jung took out a flyer recruiting part-time workers. It said that if you work for 3 days and 2 nights, you can get 500,000 won. Gujun needed to earn money urgently to support Rara, so he was very excited when he heard that. After 2 days, Rara could not contact Gujun and was extremely worried. The mother of the girl in the bed next to her speculated that he might have run away from Rara. Rara was also scared when she heard that. The mother analyzed that just by looking at Rara, she knew that Rara had not paid. Gujun must have been afraid that she would continue to borrow money from him, so he ran away first. Rara heard that and her eyes welled up with tears, but the mother suddenly burst out laughing and said she was just teasing Rara. Rara was really too naive. Rara was walking around the hospital when she saw a band performing. One of them was playing the piano. Sarah remembered what her music teacher Go Mi-suk had told her. When Rara was in pain, she should play the piano, and she would gain unimaginable power from music. At that time, Gujun was trapped in a multi-level marketing organization. He stood up to leave, but a scuffle broke out with the security guards. In the end, Gujun was dragged away by them. Rara sat alone on the hospital bed. Today, the girl in the same room was also discharged. Rara really wanted to see Gujun, but he was nowhere to be seen. Suddenly, her scalp felt itchy, so she tried to raise her arm to scratch her head. But in her carelessness, Rara dropped the cup of water on the ground. She wanted to get out of bed to get a glass of water, but slipped and fell to the ground. The feeling of pain and grievance made Rara upset and burst into tears. Dr. Cha heard the sound and rushed over to ask why Rara was crying. Rara just choked up and said that her hair was so itchy that she couldn't scratch scratch it, so he had to help her. Rara cried and showed her how to scratch it, making Dr. Cho laugh. At that moment, Gu-jun, who had luckily escaped from the multi-level marketing organization, also arrived. Seeing the scene in front of him, he was very angry. He rushed in, picked Rara up, and took her to the top of the mountain. Below them was a very colorful night view of the city. Rara suddenly felt much better. She also gradually opened up to Gu-jun. Rara said the reason she couldn't have a wedding was because her father went bankrupt and her family couldn't meet the material requirements of her future husband's family. Her fiancé ran away. Gu-jun couldn't believe that Rara almost married such a bastard. Rara replied that she had always followed her father's arrangements. Gu-jun felt that she was so stupid, but he also understood that Rara had no place to live now. The two went to the hair salon. Gu-jun carefully washed Rara's hair. She lay on her back and looked at Gu-jun's face. Rara honestly said that Gu-jun's nose and eyes were very beautiful. He was handsome all over. Gu-jun shyly picked up towel to cover her face. After a while, the plaster on Rara's right hand was removed. At the same time, she was discharged from the hospital. Gu-jun promised to help her find a house. Rara went with her to Gu-jun's workplace. They planned to go home together after Gu-jun got off work, but Rara kept staring at Gu-jun, making it really difficult for him to concentrate on his work. So he gave Rara the address of the hair salon near his house and told her to wait there. When Sarah came to the shop, she coincidentally met Dr. Cha. She dropped the paper in her hand and was picked up by Dr. Cha. When Dr. Cha saw the address on it, he suddenly remembered that Rara had said that she was homeless now, but now Rara suddenly had a home address. This made Dr. Cha suspicious. The place Gu-jun showed Rara was near Ha-jung's mother's hair salon. She entered the salon. The owner, Suk-kyung, saw Rara wearing designer clothes and thought she was meeting a rich customer. When Rara said she had no money, Suk-kyung generously said that Rara might owe money, so Rara was tricked into getting her hair done in her sleep. The new hairstyle was actually quite good. Rara's new look also overwhelmed Ha-jung, but Rara's act of owing money made Ha-jung uncomfortable. Ha-jung asked Rara, "Why you lied to my poor mother?" Luckily, Gu-jun arrived in time to rescue Rara. The two of them went to the side of the hair salon. This was Gu-jun's house, but there was only one bed in the room. Hearing Gu-jun say that the two of them would sleep together, Rara was suddenly bewildered, but luckily he was just joking. Rara was surprised that he could live in a place like this. Later, Gu-jun was washing his hair in the bathroom when he discovered that the water was gone again, so he asked Rara to bring him mineral water, but she had already fallen asleep. Gu-jun had no choice but to go get the water without wearing a shirt, but he accidentally dropped the bottle of water under the bed, so Gu-jun had to climb over Rara to get it. In the end, Gu-jun still woke her up and her scream immediately echoed throughout the night sky. At this time, Dr. Cha came here. Ha-jung also burst through the door. They saw Gu-jun shirtless and Rara right next to him. The two people on the bed were embarrassed and couldn't explain. Ha-jung thought they were going to sleep together. After a while of noise, the four of them finally sat down and talked properly. Ha-jung likes Gu-jun, so she can't stand them living in the same house. She suggests that Rara move into her house. The two girls will live together. Ha-jung pulls Rara's suitcase with all her might to help Rara move. On the way, Rara hears Ha-jung say that the house Gu-jun is living in used to belong to an old man. When he had an accident on the road and was about to die, Gu-jun helped him. To express his gratitude, the old man gave the house to Gu-jun. At this time, Dr. Cha talked to Gu-jun and knew that Rara and Gu-jun had known each other since her wedding. Gu-jun also knew that Rara was having a hard time, so he helped her. Suk-kyung was very unhappy that his daughter was bringing a burden back. Rara was very optimistic and said that she couldn't afford to pay the rent right now, but she would go out and find a job. As soon as she recovered from her injury, Suk-kyung just felt that Rara wanted to stay in their house. Suk-kyung said Rara was like a parasite. Rara remembered the image of parasites in movies and their disgusting appearance. Rara's eyes were red and she felt sorry and ran out. Dr. Cha and Gu-jun heard the news and hurriedly went to find her. At this time, Rara was sitting on the steps, bored. She dreamed of her own starry sky. Suddenly, a bright star flew towards Rara. It was Gu-jun riding his bike closer. Rara excitedly jumped into his arms and said she couldn't leave Gu-jun because he was the only one willing to lend her money. Gu-jun originally thought Rara was confessing, but in the end he was disappointed. Then he took her to Suk-kyung's house. Gu-jun promised to pay the rent for Rara, so Rara asked for a separate bedroom. In the living room, Ha-jung found pictures of Rara showing off her wealth on social media, so Ha-jung thought Rara really had money, but Suk-kyung objected and thought that maybe Rara just took the photos to fool everyone. But Gu-jun confirmed that Rara was a simple-minded person. The things Rara posted online were not lies. Thanks to that, Gu-jun was able to dispel Ha-jung and her mother's suspicions. After entering the bedroom, Rara remained silent. The three people were worried that something big was going to happen to her, so they thought it was foolish to eavesdrop for a while, but there was no result, so they decided to break into the bedroom to check. Unexpectedly, Rara was already sleeping soundly. Suk-kyung was really speechless. The family family had such a big problem, but Rara was still able to sleep. Rara just dreamily said that she was under too much pressure and that she needed to think of a way to pay. After that, Rara quickly went back to sleep. The next morning, Rara dreamed that Misuk had been very strict with her before. Misuk told Rara that the hardships Rara had endured while practicing the piano would become a gift for her life in the future. Rara was inspired and decided to become a piano teacher, but Rara had to eat a full meal to have the energy to work. She was about to have breakfast when she had trouble with her messy hair. Ha-jung couldn't stand it anymore, so she just used a few movements to tie Rara's hair into a bun. Then she shyly accepted Rara's compliment. After praising Ha-jung, Rara turned to praise Suk-kyung. Rara praised Suk-kyung for her delicious cooking, loved being complimented like that. Suk-kyung wanted to make more delicious dishes for Rara to eat. Rara had excellent education and a cheerful personality, so she easily got a job as a piano teacher. Rara returned to the hair salon to tell Suk-kyung the good news. This also attracted the attention of the customers who came to get their hair done. They heard about Rara's tragic life. Everyone thought her father's secretary had a problem, but Rara believed that the secretary was a good person. Unfortunately, Rara was disappointed because now the secretary was comfortably sitting on the yacht, enjoying the company president's treatment. At this time, Yoon-shil was looking for Gu-jun. The person who went to hunt down Gu-jun earlier was also sent by her. Yoon-shil heard that Gu-jun had gone to another city, so she threw a wad of money to this person. Yoon-shil told him to find Gu-jun before the director returned to the country, otherwise she would not forgive this man. On the other side, Rara flipped to the photo of Gu-jun and his friend. Gu-jun was very angry when he found out, but Gu-jun saw Rara's grievance and couldn't bear to scold her, so he had to change the topic. As soon as Gu-jun mentioned that Rara had a job, she immediately smugly thanked the heavens for not cutting off her way of life. Da-cha's ex-wife was talking to a friend about the reason why they divorced. The other party joked that Da-cha might have a terminal illness. Unexpectedly, Dr. Cha and faraway, Yunpo actually had to take medicine. He even lied to the nurse that it was just vitamins. Gu-jun went out to work. Rara disguised herself to follow him. Gu-jun worked at a cosmetics store, and Rara went to try it. Then he went to a Western restaurant, and Rara also sat there waiting. Rara also met Ha-jung and Seonji, who came to visit Gu-jun. The three of them had nothing to do and stared at Gu-jun while eating. They guessed Gu-jun's major in college. They found out that he was very good at math, sports, and foreign languages. Unexpectedly, Gu-jun said that he only graduated from middle school. Mimi was discharged from the hospital, but Suk-kyung was allergic to dogs, so Gu-jun had to take Mimi home to raise. Rara couldn't bear to leave the puppy behind, so she followed Gu-jun home. Gu-jun was worried that Rara wouldn't be safe walking alone at night, so he took her back to Suk-kyung's house. Rara mumbled that it would be great if Gu-jun's house had 2 rooms, then she could see Mimi every day. Gu-jun really paid attention to what she said. After returning home, he started drawing a blueprint for the room. Finally, the plaster on Rara's left hand was removed. Dr. Cha told Rara not to overuse her left hand. Rara happily ran to Gu-jun's house, intending to tell him the good news that she had recovered. As soon as she entered, Rara saw that Mimi had wet the bed. The two had to take the bed sheets to the laundry. While waiting, Rara said that she didn't like playing the piano before, but when she lost the piano, Rara missed it strangely. Gu-jun explained that piano had been with Rara for more than 20 years. Those days had made Rara who she was now. Rara stared at Gu-jun's face, as if enlightened. Suk-kyung saw that Rara's hand was healed, so she took her and Gu-jun to the public piano. Suk-kyung wanted to see Rara perform, but when Rara played, she felt a little pain in her fingers, and it wasn't as she wanted. Dr. Cha happened to pass by. He thought to himself that he had clearly told her not to use too much force on her left hand. Gu-jun also noticed that Rara was uncomfortable, so he stopped her. After that, Rara came here every night to play the piano. Gu-jun couldn't bear it, so he secretly followed Rara. He planned to save money to buy her a piano. That night, Gu-jun had just finished work when he received a notice that he had to work overtime temporarily, so he couldn't secretly follow Rara to protect her playing the piano at night. At this time, an old man pushing a cart of scrap metal came. Rara saw this and was afraid that he had bad intentions, so she quickly ran away. But the old man only told Rara to play the Maiden's Prayer, so one played the piano and the other enjoyed it. Both of them were very happy. He remembered that his wife loved this piano piece the most before, and tears fell again. Rara was also moved to tears because this was the first time someone cried after listening to her performance. Rara shared this joy with Gu-jun. He invited her to his house tomorrow. He had a surprise for her. After the call ended, the two of them looked up at the starry sky above and smiled happily. At this time, Dr. Cha walked closer to Gu-jun. Gu-jun remembered that he often saw Dr. Cha at work, so he suspected that Dr. Cha was following him. Dr. Cha realized that Gu-jun seemed to be avoiding someone. The next day was Rara's first day at work. Rara dressed neatly and happily went to piano class, but she heard that the other party had stopped recruiting teachers. Rara immediately felt extremely disappointed. Rara felt that she no longer had the face to meet Gujun, but Gujun saw Rara hiding behind a phone booth. Rara was discovered, so she had to say that she lost her job and ran back to his house. But unexpectedly, Rara saw that she had her own room. Rara did not hesitate to praise Gujun and even wanted to run over and hug him. Seeing that, Gujun's cheeks turned red with embarrassment. At this time, someone brought a white piano. Rara thought that Gujun bought it for him, but after asking, Rara found out that it was given to her by her friend, Sol. Rara wondered how that person knew that she lived here, so Gujun followed her and wanted to ask for the sender's address. As for Rara, she was just happy and didn't care much. She decided that after meeting her, she would thank that friend properly. After returning to Sukkyung's house, Rara told this story about the two of them. Rara also told the two of them about her plan to hold a piano class at Gujun's house. Rara would name that place Rara's Playground. On the opening day of Rara's Playground, Dr. Cha was invited to the hair salon early in the morning to get a haircut. Sukkyung was immediately attracted to his handsome face and super masculine aura. When Sukkyung cut his hair, she did it very carefully. She even took the initiative to make his hair more voluminous. At this time, Hayoung walked in and saw Dr. Cha. She told her mother that this person had been lurking at the hair salon. It turned out that Dr. Cha was worried about Rara, so he went to the hair salon according to the address on the note. When Sukkyung heard what her daughter said, she thought that Dr. Cha liked her. This scared Dr. Cha and made him run away. Everyone dressed up to visit Rara's playground. The inside was newly decorated. Dr. Cha thanked Gujun for taking care of Rara. Dr. Cha also said that Gujun did it because he felt sorry for Rara. These words made Gujun no longer happy. Rara advertised her piano class to the neighbors. Not far away, a stranger in a suit and leather shoes was watching this place. It was unclear what this person's purpose was. After the opening ceremony, Gujun saw that Dr. Cha gave Rara a beautiful gift and became jealous. He angrily asked Rara to clean the house. Rara thought for a while and decided to sit down and play the song, I Like You. This song was like a confession, so Gujun couldn't stay angry, but listening to music while cleaning also made him feel full of energy. That night, Sukkyung was walking in a dark alley and found someone following her. Sukkyung was waiting at the corner, her hand holding a bag, preparing to deliver a fatal blow to the other person. Unexpectedly, Sukkyung was hugged by Dr. Cha. It turned out that this was the only way for him to return home. He lived in the same building as Sukkyung. On the other side, Rara was arranging her small room on the second floor. She told Gujun that the tea set she treasured was something her parents used before, and that she would use it with her husband in the future. Then Rara asked about Gujun's parents. After Rara found out that Gujun had no family, she smiled and said that he could consider her family. Gujun, who was shyly, said that he didn't want to be involved with anyone. Today was a nice day. Rara planned to go hand out flyers. She met Dr. Cha waiting for her in front of her house. The two of them went out together. Rara got close to the school and saw that most of the children had already signed up piano lessons. Only one boy took the initiative to come find her, but it was to receive a gift. Rara asked the teacher in charge of the taekwondo class and learned that recently, parents had a hobby of driving to pick up their children and letting their children learn everything in one building. Before that, Dr. Cha invited Rara to eat. She ate happily. At this time, Gujun called and was not happy to hear that Rara was with Dr. Cha. He hung up the phone. He had gone to the trouble of buying her lunch. Dr. Cha told Rara that he could treat her the same way Gujun did, but Rara said that she felt much more comfortable with Gujun. For example, if Gujun was sweeping the floor, she would comfortably sit and play the piano. But if Rara saw Dr. Cha working, she would notice his expression and stand up to help. Dr. Cha smiled helplessly. Then he asked Rara if she really knew Gujun. Meanwhile, in another development, a woman was jogging on the beach when she discovered a dead body. The police confirmed that the man had been dead for more than a month. The photo on his ID card was blurred, with only the word Jun at the end of his name remaining. Through the ID card number, the police realized that someone had reported him running away from home 6 months ago. Not long after, Yoon Shil received a call from the police. They said they had found a body that was believed to be her son. The police asked Yoon Shil to identify her son. On the other side, Rara was smiling and answering Dr. Cha. Although Rara knew that Gujun had many secrets, she never asked because he seemed very sad. Sunyi's mother was sitting in the hair salon and said that Gujun hated taking pictures. Gujun even deleted the video that Songyi took of him playing basketball. Everyone guessed that Gujun might be a fugitive. At that time, Gujun was working in a cosmetics store when he looked in the mirror and found someone peeping at him. Gujun immediately became alert. Dr. Cha took Rara home and said that he would persistently invite her to dinner until she stopped being shy. Dr. Cha wanted Rara to be comfortable with him. After saying that, he left immediately without giving her a chance to reply. Then Rara saw the cosmetics set that Gujun left for her on the doorknob. Although Rara's antics had made Gujun impatient in the past, he always remembered that he had secretly helped her. Thinking of this, Rara felt very touched. The next day, Ha Jung did Rara's hair and makeup. Sukhyum made her a delicious sandwich. So early in the morning, Rara was full of energy to go post ads. Rara was busy working until the sun set before returning home. Gujun was so touched by Rara's efforts that he gave her the tuition. Gujun became her first student. Rara was so touched that she turned to praise him and the dog Mimi. At this time, Dr. Cha also came to register, but when teaching, Rara discovered that Dr. Cha had lied to her. Apparently, he could play the piano. After the lesson, Dr. Cha told Gujun that from now on, he would take Rara back to Sukhyum's house because he lived in the same building as them. Gujun was very depressed when he heard this. The next day, he had no spirit to work. When he got off work, he heard the sound of a piano at home. Gujun walked in with excitement and anticipation. He saw Rara coming to give him a kimbap. It was raining heavily that night, and the two of them stood in front of the door in the rain. Gujun found 2 umbrellas in the house, but after thinking carefully, he only took out one. He wanted to walk under an umbrella with Rara. Just as Gujun was about to take Rara home, Dr. Cha sent a text message saying that he would come after work and take Rara home. A moment later, a car horn sounded outside the door. Rara stood up to say goodbye to Gujun, and suddenly thunder rumble. A man's voice also said goodbye in Gujun's head. Gujun panicked, shaking his head and stepping back. Then he hugged Rara and begged her not to leave. Rara patted Gujun's back and kept coaxing him that it was okay. Gujun told her to promise not to say goodbye next time she left. Rara was very worried when she saw Gujun like that, so while in Dr. Cha's car, Rara got out of the car and returned to Gujun's house. At this time, Gujun was playing the song Night and Dreams on the guitar. He was extremely surprised to see her come. Rara smiled sweetly and replied that she wanted to be by his side. She also said that she had a friend who once told her not to complain to others because that would only make others more upset. Rara thought that what her friend said was right and that she needed to fix that bad habit. Someone like her who couldn't even take care of herself. How could she have time to care about other people's business? But Rara hoped that Gujun could open his heart because that way she could help him share his sadness. The two sat on the bed and talked. Gujun just said that he had no dream. As for Rara, her eyes were as bright as stars. Rara said that her dream was to eat the best beef tenderloin. This made Gujun disdainful. Rara explained that dreams don't have to be big goals, but as long as someone has something they want to do, that's their dream. The two chatted happily. Not long after, Rara fell asleep. Gujun sat on the edge of the bed and looked at her intently with deep affection. After Rara woke up, she ate breakfast that was super to her liking. Gujun said that Rara was difficult to serve, but he still prepared breakfast according to her request. At this time, Gujun was helping the old man move things. Gujun smiled and looked very sweet. The old man also thought that Gujun was in love. This old man was the one who invited Rara to play the piano. He was talking to Gujun about the piano academy. Gujun also came up with the idea of growing kale and lettuce. These were essentials in Rara's own menu. The old man smiled and said that Gujun finally wanted to live here. On the other side, the wife of the director Yun Shil chased after the police, anxiously, asking where her son was. She already knew that the corpse floating on the beach was not her son, but the police still hadn't found her son, who fell into the sea. Yun Shil called Minsu and angrily ordered him to go there immediately. In the hair salon, Kung and the group of customers also saw the news that someone had drowned on the beach. They sighed a bit and then started to enjoy their lives, listening to Rara's sweet music from the house next door. The women were frying kimchi, pancakes. At this time, Rara was attracted by the aroma of pancakes. Rara suddenly discovered that there was a door leading to the hair salon in the room. She rushed into the door and damaged the wallpaper of the hair salon. Suk-kyung was extremely heartbroken. Luckily, Rara had paid off her hairdressing debt many times so that she wouldn't be scolded by Suk-kyung. At this time, Rara's music academy welcomed the third student, the old man who had heard Rara play The Virgin's Prayer. He really wanted to learn to play that song. Rara knew that the old man's income was low, so she decided to teach him for free. Then Suk-kyung came to deliver kimchi pancakes. Only then did Rara know that the old man was the owner of this building. This made her so startled that she hiccuped. On the bus, male student Songji played a love song for Ha-jung to confess his love. He wanted Ha-jung to notice him, but after listening, Ha-jung decided to immediately confess to Gujun, making Songji extremely disappointed. On the other side, Dr. Cha went to the Western restaurant to confirm something with Gujun, but while they were talking, they were interrupted by a phone call. It turned out that Nurse Kim had come to find Dr. Cha. She was Dr. Cha's ex-wife. At first, Nurse Kim said some confusing words. Then she acted spoiled and asked Dr. Cha to invite her to dinner. Dr. Cha was very impatient and told her that he was very upset and then left. In the Rara playground, Gujun brought delicious food to Rara. Then he had to go back to work. Suddenly Rara asked Gujun why he bought 2 sets of the same skincare cream for her. He had clearly left 1 set on the doorknob yesterday. Gujun was startled and replied that he had not bought the set yesterday. At this time Nurse Kim chased Dr. Cha to the door of the Rara playground. Suk-kyung was walking and saw a person wearing all branded clothes, so she thought that this person must be very rich. Nurse Kim also said that she came to get her hair done. Of course, Mrs. Suk-kyung immediately happily invited her into the shop. Suk-kyung enthusiastically treated Nurse Kim. Dok-cha practiced the piano in the next room. Rara discovered that Dok-cha played very well, and it seemed that she had nothing to teach him. But Rara remembered what the old man had said, that if you want to make money, you have to be ruthless. So Rara deliberately emphasized to Dr. Cha that he still had to pay the tuition. Of course, Dok-cha happily said that he would pay Rara's tuition. When Nurse Kim walked out of the shop with her strange hairstyle, Dok-cha and Rara had already gone to the restaurant where Gujun was working. Ha-jung and Sungji were also there. That's why there was a scene of 4 people sitting in line, staring at Gujun working. While they were talking, Dok-cha admitted that he had been divorced. Everyone was very surprised. Ha-jung even told Gujun about it. On the way home, Ha-jung wanted to express her feelings to Gujun, but Sungji immediately interrupted Ha-jung. When Suk-kyung got home, she found a fresh flower basket in front of her house. Ha-jung told Rara that the flower basket might have been given to Rara by the person with the nickname Sol Lala Sol, but Rara only went online and couldn't find any messages from the other party. Outside the apartment building, a strange man was staring at Rara's window. The next day, Rara went to distribute flyers and accidentally met Min-soo in front of a juice stall. Rara saw him staring at piano advertisement, so she immediately recommended Rara Playground. Rara also gave him a small gift from the conservatory. At this time, Min-soo received a call saying that she had news from Gujun. He was planning to go to Eunpo Station to find Gujun. When Rara saw that he wanted to go, she immediately thought that this student recruitment method had failed, so Rara wanted to get the gift back. The two of them started to argue. In the end, Min-soo was the one who won. He aggressively said that he would definitely come to her. Rara thought that she had successfully recruited the student, so she happily replied that the tuition fee was 100,000 won. As soon as Min-soo left, Gujun walked up to Rara. At Eunpo Station, Min-soo asked the news staff about Gujun. The staff remembered that Gujun had lost his ID card and refused to report it to the police, which made her feel very strange. At this time, Rara and Gujun went to the garage to park the car. This car was a gift from her father after Rara entered university, so the car she loved was named Juju. In the storage box, there was still a talisman that her father had paired for Rara. Although Rara was very reluctant, she still decided to sell the car to pay off her debt. At night, Rara slept in the car. She planned to spend one last night with her beloved car. Ha-jung also went out to sleep with Rara. The next day, when Rara was about to sign the car sale contract, Gujun stopped her. He said that she could slowly pay off the debt. Gujun took the opportunity to ask Rara to be his driver. Gujun also said that his dream was to have his own driver, so that when he needed help, the driver would be there right away. Night gradually advised the two to go to a high place to enjoy the beauty of the city at night. Gujun said that the reason he did not let Rara sell the car was because it would be very painful for her to lose something precious. Then Gujun said that he used to have a very close friend, but that person had passed away. Gujun recalled the old memories with that friend and could not hold back his tears. Rara also sympathized and cried with him. The two people who were heartbroken suddenly looked at each other and stopped crying and laughed. The next day, Dr. Cha discovered that Rara did not sell the car. Suk-kyung said that it was Gujun's idea. During that time, he also received a simple hairstyle from Mrs. Suk-kyung. After Dr. Cha went to the children's hospital and looked at the group photo of Gujun with everyone, Jung-nam told Dr. Cha that this was the son of the hospital director. He was a high school student with excellent academic performance. Only then did Dr. Cha realize that Gujun was not the same age as Rara. On the other side, Gujun came to find Rara to measure her height. Rara was surprised and said that Gujun seemed to have grown taller. Can people grow taller after the age of 24? She hugged him and stood on her tiptoes to measure his height. Unexpectedly, Rara almost fell. Luckily, Gujun caught her. The distance between the two of them was shortened, creating a romantic atmosphere. Gujun couldn't help but bend down to kiss Rara, but Rara suddenly sneezed and hit Gujun's nose, causing him to have a nosebleed. Not long after, a handsome guy walked into the hair salon. Suk-kyung was fascinated when she saw this. This guy used to shop at the cosmetics store where Gujun worked. Several women were sitting on chairs happily looking at the handsome guy. At this moment, Rara slammed the door open, making a loud noise, startling the shop owner who was working there and cutting off a lot of the handsome guy's hair. Rara just wanted to come here to ask everyone, at what age will a boy stop growing? But Rara got the answer that height has nothing to do with age. That night, Mrs. Suk-kyung fell on the sofa, exhausted. She remembered the moment when the handsome guy had his hair cut badly and was scared. Luckily, the handsome guy didn't care. At this moment, the handsome guy was standing in front of the hair salon, dripping an unknown liquid on the doorknob and smiling wickedly. After everyone finished eating the food Ha-jung cooked, they made bags and other things for the fans of the Rara playground. Suk-kyung Suk-kyung, who was standing next to her, thought that no one would join the piano course for the gifts. However, after Suk-kyung heard Rara say that Dr. Cha was also her student, Suk-kyung immediately said that the bag was really nice. Suk-kyung also wanted to learn piano with Rara. In the restaurant, Dr. Cha wanted to ask about Gujun's identity, but Dr. Cha didn't know how to ask. He could only ask next time. When Dr. Cha left, he forgot the medicine box. Gujun looked at the medicine box and suddenly remembered that the two of them had met once at Rara's music college graduation ceremony. That night after returning home, Gujun was still worried. He guessed that Dr. Cha probably knew his identity. The next day, Gujun took the initiative to find Dr. Cha. Sure enough, he knew a few things about Gujun. Dr. Cha also threatened Gujun that if I wasn't in a good mood, I might reveal your address to your parents. At the same time, Dr. Cha told Gujun to tell Rara that he was a high school student. Suk-kyung was about to open the door to the hair salon when her hand got stuck on the door latch. Rara discovered that there was glue on the doorknob. At this time, a handsome guy appeared, pretending to be a good student and wanting to learn piano with Rara. At the same time, he would pay extra to come to study every day. At that time, the old man went to piano class, so the handsome guy had to go home and come back another day. At the house next door, Suk-kyung's regular customers speculated that the glue might be a prank played by the kids who often hang around here. After Rara finished her piano lesson, she went to the cosmetics store to find Gujun but couldn't find him. She called him, but he didn't answer. At that time, Gujun was wandering on the street. He remembered the memories with his best friend. At that time, his best friend suggested that Gujun prepare a birthday cake for his father, but the two of them couldn't wait for his father, so they had to go home first. When the two of them said goodbye at the intersection, the best friends suddenly got into a car accident. Gujun was so heartbroken that he was in no mood to go to school anymore. When he went to take the exam, he only handed in a blank paper. His father found out that Gujun got a 0 on the exam and slapped him. The father indifferently said that it was just a friend who died. Why did Gujun collapse to this extent? Gujun still thought that his best friend's death was related to his family, but his father said that it was because his best friend was unlucky. His father also blamed his endurance for being too weak. He would not achieve anything in the future. Gujun was extremely disappointed with his father, so he left home. At this time, Rara finally found Gujun, but she discovered that he was planning to leave. Rara asked why Gujun wanted to leave. Gujun said that people were annoying. Rara thought that the person he was talking about was her, so she was very depressed. She returned to the Rara playground. Suddenly, Rara saw a boy hanging around in front of the door. It was the boy who asked for Rara's gift. The two of them sat on the steps. The boy said that he wanted to learn piano. The boy sat down in front of the piano and played a song he had heard outside the Rara playground. Rara was delighted to discover that the boy was a piano prodigy. The boy asked Rara why she played this song every time Gujun returned. Rara smiled and replied that she played this song to welcome Gujun, but he never noticed. The boy immediately argued that I was always outside the door listening to you play. At first, Gujun returned home in a sad mood, but after hearing the sound of the piano, he would immediately cheer up. Gujun went to the door to fix his hair. Then he would pretend that nothing happened and enter the house. Gujun was eavesdropping and accidentally made a noise, which was discovered by Rara. She stubbornly told him not to leave. He had to stay by her side because she hadn't paid him yet. Moreover, the plants still needed him to take care of. Gujun also smiled and said that he would give Rara a chance to pay. He wouldn't disappear. The two officially made peace. The atmosphere was extremely happy. After Gujun decided to stay by Rara's side, he went to find Dr. Cha again. Gujun already knew that Dr. Cha and Jung Nam were classmates. Rara didn't know this either. Dr. Cha was also deceiving Rara because he didn't want her to be separated from him. Now they both knew each other's secret, so Gujun hinted to Dr. Cha not to do anything too much. Dr. Cha should handle things well. After Gujun finished dealing with Dr. Cha, he called Rara. The two wished each other good night. After that, Gujun sang to lull her to sleep. The next day, Rara's playground was very crowded. Rara was teaching her puppy to play the piano. After a while, Dr. Cha came to invite Rara to eat together. Gujun was impatient and insisted on going along. Then Hajung and Sungji followed like two little tails. The five of them sat outside eating ice cream. Rara invited Dr. Cha, Hajung, and Sungji to go with her to see Saw Lala-san tomorrow. Dr. Cha had something to do and couldn't come. Gujun was very angry because he wasn't invited. Rara said that she didn't need to invite Gujun. Of course he had to come because Gujun was the one who lent Rara the most money. Gujun smiled happily. Early the next morning, Hajung put on Rara's makeup. Gujun also dressed very formally. At this time, Min-soo had entered the small supermarket at the transfer station. The supermarket owner told him that Gujun had saved Kim Man-bak. That day, Kim Man-bak had a relapse and fell to the ground. Gujun found medicine in his pocket and gave him medicine in time, thus avoiding tragedy. Min-soo also asked for Kim Man-bak's address through the owner. On the other side, Rara and the others were waiting warily at the meeting place. Handsome men and elegant elegant women walked in through the door, but none of them were Sol la la Sol. At this time, a man walked in. Everyone was surprised to see him. Unexpectedly, the person who came was An Jung-ho, whose hair had been badly cut by Suk-kyung. Rara thought that Do Sun la la Sun was an acquaintance of hers. Dr. Cha also entered the restaurant shortly after and saw Rara chatting with An Jung-ho. Dr. Cha wanted to say something but stopped. An Jung-ho also revealed his true identity. He was just a regular customer of the shop. Rara waited for a long time, but the great benefactor still did not come. Rara was extremely disappointed. Through Kim Man-bok, Gu-jun knew that Min-soo was looking for him. Before that, Min-soo had threatened Kim Man-bok to make him reveal Gu-jun's whereabouts, but Kim Man-bok refused to reveal any information. In the evening, Rara was very depressed because she had not obtained any information about Dudu Sol La La Sol today. Luckily, the benefactor texted Rara. That person said they could not meet her for personal reasons, but that person will always support her. Suk-kyung also said that life is long. One day, the two of them will definitely meet. Rara regained her mood to take a photo with Suk-kyung and her mother and post it on social media. In the dark room filled with Rara's photos, An Jung-ho looked at the photo that Rara had just posted with a mysterious smile. Dr. Cha carefully held the crown that Rara dropped at the wedding. Before going to sleep, Rara read the message online. The message said, "I hope that star will shine on your future." Rara suddenly had an idea. She ran to Rara's playground and found the potted plant that Dr. Cha had given her earlier, on which was written, "I hope Rara's piano sound will fill the world." These two sentences were almost the same. After guessing, Rara immediately guessed that Dr. Cha was the benefactor she couldn't meet today. Rara proudly shared this guess with Gu-jun, but he was jealous. He even imitated the tone of his benefactor's voice to text Rara. He also changed his profile picture to a picture of a green tree with the word special. The next day, with the help of a regular customer of the spa, Rara made kimbap with different flavors. She gave it to Dr. Cha because she thought he was her benefactor. Dr. Cha was very happy to receive lunch from Rara. He thought that the lunch was made by her. After Dr. Cha found out that it was made by someone else, he felt much less happy. Dr. Cha also reluctantly realized that Rara gave him the rice to thank him, not because of love. On the other side, Rara was investigating the reason why other piano classes were crowded. She found out that parents preferred award-winning facilities, so she immediately thought of sending Shin Jae-min to compete. This piano prodigy could definitely bring home the trophy. Rara's playground business would also prosper. Gu-jun woke up Rara, who was daydreaming. Rara didn't know that Gu-jun was there to fan her while she was sleeping. He even wondered if he should buy her an air conditioner. An Jung-ho arrived at class on time. Gu-jun passed by him on his way to work, but on the way, he kept feeling like he had seen An Jung-ho somewhere. Because Gu-jun was worried about Rara, he went back to the spa and opened the small door that led to the house next door. Gu-jun also asked Suk-kyung to help him keep an eye on Rara. Behind the door, Rara was playing the piano and An Jung-ho was staring at her. A strange feeling gradually rose in Rara's heart. Amidst the increasingly tense sound of the piano, An Jung-ho suddenly closed the small door. At this time, Min-soo brought Yoon-shil to see Kim Man-bok. Kim Man-bok tried to persuade Yoon-shil to relax, but she was not grateful. In the end, she left some money and contact information and turned around and left. Min-soo found the bags outside Rara's playground. Yoon-shil and Min-soo got in the car and left. On the way, Mrs. Yoon-shil saw Gu-jun's back with sharp eyes. She quickly got out of the car to look for him, but only Rara was there. Yoon-shil remembered that Rara was the daughter-in-law who had been abandoned by her friend. Yoon-shil was very happy to see her friend's ex-daughter-in-law in such poverty. After the two of them finished their business, Gu-jun and Rara went to the electronics center together to buy a juicer for her. The staff mistook the two of them as husband and wife. Rara quickly denied it. On the way back, Gu-jun kept thinking about her denial. Poor Rara said that she had been married once, but Gu-jun didn't care. On the contrary, Gu-jun firmly said that he didn't care about that. Just when Gu-jun was about to confess to Rara, he was interrupted by Kim Man-bok. Kim Man-bok told Gu-jun that his mother had come to find him. Kim Man-bok also comforted Gu-jun that he should adjust his mood before going home. Gu-jun refused to accept the money his mother gave him. Kim Man-bok even said that it was the rent for Rara's playground. The next day, with Gu-jun's help, Rara finally found Shin Jae-min. Shin Jae-min's situation was quite difficult. His mother passed away early, and his father was busy with many things. After that, Rara gently told him that he could come to Rara's playground to learn piano anytime, and he just needed to clean up to pay the tuition. But what surprised Rara was that this child genius couldn't even read music. Rara needed to teach him from the beginning. Gu-jun was by his side, encouraging him that Rara would definitely teach Shin Jae-min to become a genius. Rara was embarrassed and punched him lightly. In order for Shin Jae-min to eat well, Rara and Gu-jun took him to Suk-kyung's house to eat. Suk-kyung cooked a sumptuous meal and invited everyone. Rara and Shin Jae-min ate voraciously. Suk-kyung, who was standing next to them, suddenly felt sad. Ha-jung explained that Suk-kyung grew up in an orphanage, so she couldn't stand stand seeing others hungry. After the meal, Gujun and Shin Jae-min left. Suk-kyum said it might rain. Rara and Ha-jung simultaneously picked up the umbrella next to them to give it to Gujun, but Gujun ended up choosing Rara's umbrella. Ha-jung called Sungji to complain. The next day, Ha-jung put on bright red lipstick and confessed to Gujun. As expected, she was rejected by Gujun. Ha-jung also knew that he liked someone else. Ha-jung cried and complained to Sungji. Her eye makeup was also smudged like a panda's. Ha-jung even angrily said that he wanted to kick Rara out of the house. Sungji quickly stopped that silly thought. He also said that there was definitely something going on between Rara and Dr. Cha. Hearing that, Ha-jung laughed and said that she had a good idea. Not long after Ha-jung, Sungji asked Rara and Dr. Cha to go see a movie, but Ha-jung and Sungji didn't come. In the end, only Rara and Dr. Cha went to the movies together. At this time, Gujun had already made salad and juice to Rara's taste, but he waited for a long time but still didn't see her. Ha-jung was mean and told Gujun that Rara and Dr. Cha had gone to the movies. Gujun hurried out to find Rara. Gujun suddenly remembered that Sungji said that he should confess to Rara, and the sooner the better, because Ha-jung was trying to find a way to pair Rara and Dr. Cha. At this time, in the cinema, Dr. Cha held Rara's hand, but as soon as she stepped out of the cinema, she rejected his confession. Rara even praised Dr. Cha as a good person. Gujun arrived very quickly and pulled Rara away, saying that the salad at home was about to get cold. On the way home, Rara sat on the back of the motorbike and hugged his waist. The two of them were very happy. The next morning, Gujun asked Sungji if he should confess first or tell the secret first. He was afraid that if he told Rara the secret, their relationship would fall apart. Sungji advised him to confess first. Only when Gujun was sure that Rara really loved him did he tell the secret. Rara had finished class and was chatting with everyone in the hair salon. A regular customer told Rara that Man Bok's learning ability was still very good. He even knew how to use a cell phone, but in fact, it was thanks to Gujun that he gathered the elderly people in the neighborhood. He taught them how to use a cell phone. Rara asked Man Bok's wife what kind of person she was. The woman said that Man Bok's wife had dementia. Before she died, she always called Man Bok older sister, but she was a good person. She always left unsold flowers in front of the door for people to take home. Not long after, Gujun brought Miss Man Bok a CD of the piano sheet music for A Maiden's Prayer. Gujun told him not to use tapes with poor sound quality anymore. Gujun also started to learn piano by himself. Then Rara called Gujun and said she ran out of skincare products. Rara wanted Gujun to bring her a new set, although Gujun said no, but he honestly ran to her right away. Gujun said he didn't come just to deliver the goods, but because he missed her. This made Rara stand there in a daze. The next day when Rara was teaching Jungho, she told him that she needed to prepare for his competition, so Rara would reduce Jungho's lessons. Jungho also happily said that after winning the competition, many people would come to Rara's playground to sign up for lessons, but Jungho suddenly said that he didn't want more people here. This made Rara feel confused. Jaemin ran into Jungho at the door. Joho smiled but was plotting something bad in his heart. Suddenly, a man followed him. Rara was teaching Jaemin when a while later, Man Bok brought a few workers to move the air conditioner inside. Man Bok said that Gujun gave him a CD, so Man Bok also wanted to give him an air conditioner as a gift in return. At the hospital, Ha-jung suddenly barged in, causing Dr. Cha to choke on a pill in his throat. It was only after she gave him a strong slap that he returned to normal. He then told her that his confession had failed. Dr. Cha also advised Ha-jung that what was not hers would never be hers. Ha-jung angrily shouted that there was a generation gap between her and an old doctor like him. Then she burst into tears and sat singing in the karaoke room with Sungji. Sungji was also heartbroken. Sungji didn't know when Ha-jung would realize that he had always been waiting by her side. Elsewhere, Rara is training Jaemin before the competition. She realizes that he can't play soft melodies. The reason is that he lacks memories in this area. So Rara calls Gujun and asks him to prepare the ingredients to make cookies. Gujun starts saying no, but he brings all the ingredients. The three of them go to Suk-kyun's house to make cookies. After much effort, they finally bake the cookies successfully. After finishing, Gujun still takes care of the cleaning. Then they continue to experience Jaemin's favorite game of jumping rope at home. Rara sees a heart-shaped bread with her name written on it in the oven that Gujun made. Rara sends Gujun a teasing message saying that his heart is on fire. Gujun also jokingly replies, his heart is on fire because it's so hot. After texting, both of them threw their phones down because of this cheesy message. After talking, Gujun started looking at the photos of Rara and Sungwoo at the graduation ceremony. That day, Jungu went with Sungwoo to see Rara's performance. Sungwoo was attracted by Rara's beauty, so after the performance, he asked Gujun to take a photo of the two of them. This moment also made Gujun have a deep impression on Rara. At the hospital, Minsu asked the nurses for information. Gujun had come here with a female pianist named Rara. Minsu found the gift Rara had given him. Then he remembered seeing a handbag when he was standing outside Man-bok's house. Connecting the clues together, he understood everything. At this time, Mrs. Yoon-sho coincidentally met her friend while shopping. It was Mrs. Jae-kyung, Jung-nam's mother. Yoon-sho accidentally told her about Rara's miserable situation in Yoon-po. She also talked about Rara opening a piano class called Rara Playground there. By chance, Dr. Cha's ex-wife, Nurse Kim, also heard it. She asked Jae-kyung if Rara was divorced. Jae-kyung replied that her family had broken off the engagement first. Nurse Kim then quickly went to the door of Rara Playground. She didn't see Rara. She only saw Dr. Cha talking to some women. Suk-kyung found her and clung to her. Nurse Kim was almost lured into getting her hair done. At that moment, she suddenly heard the sound of a piano coming from Rara Playground, so she followed Suk-kyung inside through the small door. But they only saw Jaemin practicing alone. Nurse Kim walked around and looked around for a long time before finally seeing Rara's beautiful appearance in a photo. She suddenly felt very familiar. At this time, Rara and Gu-jun were arguing with Jaemin's father. The father did not believe that good things would come to his son, but Rara insisted on teaching Jaemin for free, so she showed Jaemin's father a photo of him smiling while playing the piano. The father finally agreed. Then he asked Gu-jun about his identity. Gu-jun said he was Rara's husband. The two of them opened a piano class together. When they went out, Rara simply did not understand why Gu-jun pretended to be her husband, but she was still easily fooled. Gu-jun just casually said a few words and she stopped wondering. After the two of them settled this matter, Rara finally taught Gu-jun to play the piano. First, Gu-jun played her a piano song he had learned himself called The Joy of Love. While listening, Rara recalled every memory from when they first met and shed tears. Rara told Gu-jun that she would grant him one wish as a reward. Gu-jun immediately smiled and told them to go on a date. Rara drove Gu-jun out. For Rara, The Joy of Love is a sad piano piece. The song says that the joy of love is fleeting, but the sadness of love will be replayed forever. As soon as Gu-jun heard it, he regretted why he played this piece of music. Then the two took the cable car to see the scenery. Gu-jun seriously told Rara that he loved her. In Gu-jun's sad and depressed days, she was his only joy. Then the two held hands tightly. Their love melted into a kiss. At this time, Min-soo entered the Rara Playground and found Gu-jun in the picture. After Gu-jun and Rara returned to the Rara Playground, the two discovered that the floor and Mimi's feet were covered in mud. They thought the dog was playing with the flower pot in the room. Rara and Gu-jun sat in front of the piano playing with all four hands. The notes harmonized, and the small room was filled with subtlety. Min-soo outside heard the music and shook his head because he had successfully found Gu-jun. Min-soo smugly called Yoon-shil, but she didn't answer. It turned out that Yoon-shil and the director had already gone to bed early. At this time, the phone rang and woke the director up. Yoon-shil could only hang up in fear. At this time, An Jung-ho also arrived at the Rara Playground. Min-soo thought that Yoon-shil wouldn't answer the phone because she had changed to another company to find Gu-jun, so he rudely grabbed Jung-ho's collar. Min-soo even followed Jung-ho for a long time, but Min-soo was momentarily careless and was knocked unconscious by Jung-ho's brick. At this time, Suk-kyung came from afar. Jung-ho panicked and took Min-soo's phone and wallet. Suk-kyung was scared by the man who had fainted on the ground. When Yoon-shil called Min-soo back, the person on the phone had turned into An Jung-ho. Yoon-shil was eager to meet him once. This sentence was heard by the director. He became suspicious, thinking his wife was having an affair. On the other side, Gu-jun was helping Man-bok water the flowers. Rara brought homemade breakfast. The ingredients wrapped in seaweed rice rolls were all assembled into heart shapes. Gu-jun complained about the bad taste while eating it deliciously. Man-bok liked sweets. It turned out that when Man-bok was young, he fell in love at first sight with a girl in a shoe store. After that, the two officially dated. One day, the girl deliberately brought chocolate to Man-bok, but because it was in her pocket for too long, it melted. Alas, Man-bok still liked it very much and put it in his mouth to eat because it was the girl's heart after all. The story was very interesting, but Rara still had to teach music, so she winked at Gu-jun and ran away. Man-bok then asked Gu-jun if he had told Rara his secret. After all, it was painful to deceive someone who trusted him. Gu-jun began to feel hesitant and self-blame. The director called the driver and asked if his wife had an affair, but the driver had already received Yoon-shil's money, so he didn't reveal anything. The director angrily warned the driver. It seemed like he had forgotten that the director was his boss. In the hospital, Min-soo lay on the hospital bed. Dr. Cha said that he had not yet regained consciousness. The police judged that this was just a normal robbery case based on Min-soo's stolen property. At this time, An Jung-ho was dressed neatly and carrying a basket of fresh flowers to meet Rara. Rara suddenly realized that the fresh flowers were exactly the same as the flowers that Suk-kyung had received. An Jung-ho even tried to hold Rara's hand. Rara felt scared. Luckily, a few regular customers of the hair salon came out. An Jung-ho angrily threw the flower basket on the ground. Rara hurriedly ran to the regular customers and said she would deposit the tuition fee into Jung-ho's account, but An Jung-ho still insisted insisted on picking it up himself. Not long after, An Jong-ho went to the beauty salon, where Gu-jun was working part-time to cause trouble. An Jong-ho said that Rara had used up all the cosmetics he had given her last time. Gu-jun grabbed An Jong-ho's collar and asked him about his identity. That night, Gu-jun worriedly ran home and told Rara not to teach An Jong-ho anymore. She also shouldn't accept gifts from strangers. Gu-jun even got in Rara's car to take her home. The two happily decided to go out for some fresh air. The next day, Sung-ji took Ha-jung to eat at a restaurant and asked her about her relationship with Rara. Ha-jung remembered how she ignored Rara a few days ago, but Ha-jung still hated Rara because she had taken Gu-jun. Sung-ji explained that it was obvious that Gu-jun confessed first. Rara didn't need to pay attention to Ha-jung, but Rara called Ha-jung along whenever she went out to eat or have fun. Ha-jung argued that it was because Rara wouldn't look down on her that she liked Rara. After expressing her true thoughts, Ha-jung got angry and stood up to leave, but she accidentally fell to the ground. Sung-ji gently treated her wound. Ha-jung's face turned slightly red. Then Sung-ji took the initiative to carry her on his back. The atmosphere between the two was very ambiguous. The next day, Ha-jung tried to please Rara. She took the initiative to do Rara's makeup, but she tied her hair into 2 buns and put blue eyeshadow on Rara, as if she was deliberately trying to make Rara look bad. Suk-hyun and the others were stunned when they saw this. Rara invited them to be audience members to simulate a performance stage for Jae-min. Jae-min displayed his talent very well. The audience applauded and cheered. At the same time, everyone also offered to support competition costumes, the boys' hairstyle, and cheerleading items. Nurse Kim returned to Seoul and searched everywhere until she finally found the brochure. Nurse Kim remembered that she had seen Rara at her college graduation performance. After some investigation, Nurse Kim found out that Rara's fiancé was a friend of Dr. Cha. On the day of the piano competition, Jaemin left the house early in his formal attire. An Jong-ho waited at the door with bad intentions. He tricked Jaemin. Jong-ho said that Rara had assigned him to take Jaemin to the performance, but Jaemin was smart enough not to be fooled. During the struggle with An Jong-ho, Jaemin's arm was injured. Jaemin didn't want Rara to be disappointed, so he hid the fact that he was injured. The competition was about to start. Jaemin sat in front of the piano with everyone's attention, but he couldn't lift his right hand. Jaemin could only use his left hand to play the piano. Jaemin knew that he had performed very badly, so he cried sadly. Rara sat below the stage, remembering her father's cheers for her, so she stood up and clapped her hands in praise. Several close friends who had come to cheer for her before also encouraged Jaemin. Later, Dr. Cha diagnosed that Jaemin's right arm was dislocated. The boy sobbed and said that the reason he persevered in enduring the pain was because he was afraid that if he didn't perform well, Rara would hate him. Rara gently said that she would still treat Jaemin well. That evening, Rara and Gu-jun made an appointment to go sightseeing by boat tomorrow. Gu-jun also planned to tell her his background. Later, An Jong-ho borrowed someone else's cell phone to call Rara and told her to get out of the car. After An Jong-ho tricked Rara into going to a deserted place, he made her faint and then took her away. On the other side, Dr. Cha took the boy Jaemin home. At the same time, Dr. Cha learned that An Jong-ho had injured Jaemin. Not long after, Dr. Cha received a call from Ha-jung. Dr. Cha heard that Rara was missing and rushed back. Dr. Cha went to look for Rara with Gu-jun. Gu-jun quickly discovered that Rara's cell phone was on the ground. Gu-jun asked Dr. Cha to go to Rara's playground to look for it. Gu-jun ran alone in the rain to An Jong-ho's residence. Before, when Gu-jun sensed that An Jong-ho was a dangerous person, Gu-jun had secretly followed him back to his residence. After entering, Gu-jun was scared to find that the house was filled with pictures of Rara. Her student ID card was also hung on the wall. It turned out that in the spring of 2019, An Jong-ho bumped into Rara and apologized to her. Rara turned around and smiled, telling him that it was okay. That time, An Jong-ho stole Rara's wallet. Rara's student card was hidden in the room. Gu-jun searched everywhere in the room and found the symbol of the multi-level marketing organization that he had mistakenly entered. Gu-jun immediately got in the car and set off. At this time, Rara, who was tied to the chair, slowly woke up. She screamed for help, but no one answered. An Jong-ho muttered like crazy that on the first day they met, Rara smiled at him. The two of them were lovers arranged by God, but Rara dared to fall in love with another man. Then Rara must be punished. Gu-jun quickly found the building of the multi-level marketing organization. Rara struggled when she heard Gu-jun's voice, but she was kicked by An Jong-ho and fainted. Gu-jun chased to there and saw Rara's miserable state and was extremely angry. Gu-jun and An Jong-ho wrestled and punched each other. After a while of struggling, An Jong-ho hit his head on the table and lost consciousness. Gu-jun was terrified when he saw this. On the other side, Dr. Cha, who had nothing to gain, returned to gather with everyone. At the same time, he revealed that An Jong-ho was the culprit who harmed Jaemin. Then Dr. Cha remembered that his car was parked outside. The camera might have captured Rara being kidnapped. Sure enough, the camera in the car had captured Rara being kidnapped. Man-bok immediately immediately contacted Gu Jun, but he reported that An Jong-ho was probably dead. The ambulance quickly took Rara and An Jong-ho away. Gu Jun also got into the police car. A policeman who had received Yoon Shil recognized Gu Jun. He excitedly said that he had found Yoon Shil's lost son. Fortunately, Rara and An Jong-ho, both safe. Suk-kyung breathed a sigh of relief. At the same time, Gu Jun also knew of this good news through Man-bok's words. Gu Jun felt as if a burden had been lifted from his heart, but Gu Jun still refused to contact his family. Man-bok thought for a long time and finally called Yoon Shil, but she had already received the news and rushed to the police station. Ha-jung and Sung-ji arrived at the police station and accidentally found out that Gu Jun was the same age as them. Ha-jung found it hard to believe. She was excited and wanted to tell Rara about Gu Jun's real age. Sung-ji stopped Ha-jung. Sung-ji said that it was better to let the two of them settle this matter themselves. At this time, Yoon Shil and Gu Jun finally met each other. Yoon Shil asked Gu Jun to follow her home immediately, but Gu Jun still could not escape the trauma of his best friend's departure. After Gu Jun found out that his mother had not told his father about him running away from home, he felt that he had failed to resist his father and was extremely angry. Later, Yoon Shil went to the Rara playground and saw an item with the word Rara written on it. At the same time, Yoon Shil also saw the dog Mimi guarding the stairs. After Yoon Shil argued with the dog for a while, she went to the hair salon through the small door. Then Yoon Shil sat and chatted with some regular customers of the hair salon. She learned about Gu Jun's heroic story of saving the beauty. Gu Jun even worked several extra jobs to support Rara. He even opened a piano class for her. The customers also told her countless other expressions of Gu Jun's love for Rara. These things made Yoon Shil furious. She didn't even mention that she knew Rara was divorced. Then Yoon Shil went to the hospital to verify Rara's identity. Yoon Shil discovered that Rara was the woman whose engagement to her son's friend had broken off. Before leaving, Yoon Shil left Ha-jung and Sung-ji some money and contact information. Yoon Shil also told them to contact her when Rara woke up. The Sungu Group's logo on the business card made the two people unable to believe what was happening. A while later, Rara woke up and left the hospital room to look for Gu Jun, but she met Min-soo. From Gu Jun's words, Rara knew that Gu Jun was the young master of Sungu Group. Gu Jun was also a high school student who ran away from home. Rara wore a patient's uniform and ran out of the hospital. Panic took a taxi and went to the police station. At this time, Gu Jun was released innocently. Man-bok brought tofu to get rid of bad luck, but was thrown away by Yoon Shil. Gu Jun wanted to fight back, but was taken away by the bodyguards. Rara arrived late and sat helplessly outside the police station. Rara knew that Gu Jun had been taken back to Seoul and cried in pain. Rara thought that the breakup was the secret that Gu Jun was hiding. Gu Jun used the excuse of going to the bathroom to escape. Yoon Shil immediately asked the bodyguards to follow Rara and Man-bok. Yoon Shil guessed that Gu Jun would definitely go find them. That night, Gu Jun was on his way to Rara's yard when he accidentally met Sung-ji. Sung-ji told him to call Rara to let her know he was safe. Gu Jun asked Rara to meet him at the pier, but Yoon Shil suddenly appeared in front of Rara. At the same time, Yoon Shil found out Gu Jun's location, so after Gu Jun arrived at the pier, he was caught by Yoon Shil. Surprisingly, the director appeared at the pier. Before Gu Jun could say anything, they left only. Rara was left there alone. A month later, Min-soo fell in love with Suk-kyung at the hospital. He became a regular customer at the hair salon. Suk-kyung and Jae-min laughed and talked to each other, so the regular customers teased them for flirting. Min-soo also really intended to stay in Yunpo with Suk-kyung. Not long after the news reported that the culprit in a floating murder case was An Jong-ho, who had harmed Rara. Junmi-soo knew about this through the criminal police, so he immediately told everyone the whole story. It was said that the dead man was a professional thief, but perhaps he had stolen An Jong-ho's watch, so he was killed by An Jong-ho in the bathroom, and his body was thrown into the sea. On the other side, Rara stood there, staring blankly into the distance. Ha-jung and Song-ji, who were not far away, felt sad for her. Song-ji said that Rara was looking towards the train that had not left with Gu Jun. That time Rara brought Yoon Shil. That was what caused Gu Jun to be forcibly taken away. That had always been a pain in Rara's heart. Ha-jung also sadly said that Rara had become more and more strange. Not only did she overeat, she suddenly started dancing. Recently, Rara has also developed a hobby of playing cards with Ha-jung's mother. Gu Jun was taken away but still did not contact Ha-jung and Song-ji. He is currently being watched by security. Yoon Shil personally brings food every day. Gu Jun wants to protest, so he starts to skip meals. He also asks his mother to return his phone. Yoon Shil does not comply with Gu Jun's request. She also confiscated the tutor's phone in case Gu Jun takes advantage of any loopholes. When Yoon Shil asks about Gu Jun's studies, the tutor first praises him for being smart, but the tutor says that Gu Jun seems to only think about love, so he doesn't focus on his studies. Yoon Shil is very angry when she hears this. That night, Gu Jun sneaks downstairs to escape when it's dark, but he is caught by his mother, who is guarding the living room. Gujun angrily says he wants to see Rara once, but his mother firmly refuses. She angrily shouted that his love affair with a woman whose engagement had been annulled was truly a disgrace to the family. At the same time, Mrs. Yun-shil warned Gujun that if the director found out about this, Rara would definitely be in trouble. No matter where Gujun ran, there was no way out because the only exit had been locked long ago. The next day at the Rara playground, Man-bok was quite proficient at playing the piano. Rara was happy with his progress. The two of them discussed it. They wanted to hold a performance on his wife's death anniversary. This piece of music would be a gift to Man-bok's wife in heaven. They mentioned Gujun again. Rara felt sad when she heard this because not only did she not know Gujun's age, she also did not know his background, but Man-bok's words were like an injection to revive her spirit. He said that Gujun's external appearance was all ephemeral because Gujun's gentle and weak inner self had already been clearly shown in front of Rara. Then Man-bok mentioned his troubled love story with his wife. His wife was a maid in a rich man's house. One day, Man-bok discovered that the girl he loved deeply was secretly going on a blind date with someone else. Even though she explained everything to him, he still felt inferior because the conditions of her blind date were much better, so he decided to break up with her, but he still loved her very much. 2 months later, Man-bok gave her a letter expressing his longing and asked Miss Hai to deliver it to that girl, but Miss Hai didn't want the girl to get married too soon, so when she read the letter to the illiterate girl, she deliberately gave the wrong meeting place. So the two people who were full of hope both returned in disappointment, so Man-bok left his hometown for Yunpo. Before he could finish his story, Rara's best friend came to the piano room. She said that her late brother was a fan of Rara. The best friend also had pictures as evidence. When Rara was browsing through the pictures, she found a picture of Gujun with his brother. The two boys were close friends. She quickly asked her best friend if she knew Gujun. The friend replied that Gujun had been to the graduation performance. Rara's memories related to Gujun were awakened. Rara remembered the shy boy who took her picture. The next day, Min-soo used the excuse that she was afraid of crowded places to ask Suk-kyung to go to the hospital with him. So Ka-jong accidentally met Nurse Kim there. The two of them chatted awkwardly for a while. Nurse Kim then went to look for Dr. Cha in the examination room. Nurse Kim asked about the relationship between Dr. Cha and Rara. He smiled and replied that she had cured him. Nurse Kim was angry after hearing that and left. Suk-kyung waited outside the door and recognized Nurse Kim as Dr. Cha's ex-wife. She sadly fell back but was hugged by Min-soo to comfort her. Then Suk-kyung realized that she had been touched and ran away. Min-soo discovered that he was too different from Dr. Cha, the ideal model in Suk-kyung's heart. The next day, Rara received a letter from Yun-shil. After reading it, Rara cried in pain. Seeing this, Ha-jong's sense of justice immediately exploded. She encouraged Song-ji to go with her to Gujun's house to make trouble. Ha-jong wanted to seriously teach Gujun a lesson because he had bullied Rara with Yun-shil. Song-ji and Ha-jong clapped their hands together and decided. Ha-jong and Song-ji felt very strange when they arrived in Seoul. The two took a taxi to Gujun's house. The address was given to them by Min-soo. After ringing the bell, the two introduced themselves as Gujun's friends from Eunpo. Yun-shil heard this and immediately found a reason to chase them away. Gujun, who was standing upstairs, saw this and had an idea. He pretended to faint on the ground. At this time, Song-ji decided to climb the wall into Gujun's house. Song-ji climbed halfway when he heard a shrill siren. They were scared and hid to the side. It turned out that the car that came was an ambulance. The two saw Gujun being carried away on a stretcher. They hurriedly chased him to the hospital. Then Song-ji put on Gujun's hospital uniform. The two switched identities. Gujun took the opportunity to run away. That evening, Man-bok's piano performance went as planned. He played the song, A Maiden's Prayer, skillfully. The beautiful melody brought back memories of the past. After Man-bok misunderstood and broke up with the girl, one day, he heard this familiar song in front of the music store, so he stopped to enjoy it. Unexpectedly, the girl was also attracted by the music. The two met again. At this time, Man-bok's performance received the support of the audience. After the performance ended, Rara cleaned up the scene alone. She remembered how carefree she had been when Gujun was still here. Then Rara opened the letter from Yun-shil. The song live first appeared right before her eyes. This was the content that Gujun had spent so much time writing. He took advantage of the moment when Yun-shil was not paying attention to put this letter in there. That's how Gujun was able to send his longing to Rara. Suddenly, just as Rara was playing the piano and thinking about Gujun, he really appeared. Then Gujun took Rara and ran quickly into the night. Rara cried loudly, happy that her lover had returned. The two of them reached top of the mountain. Gujun explained to Rara why he lied about his age. He just wanted to appear like an adult in front of Rara. The reason Gujun ran away from home was because of his best friend's death. Rara comforted Gujun, saying it was just an accident and not his fault. Gujun felt much better after being comforted by his lover. He he promised that he would stay by Rara's side for the rest of his life. At this time, Seongji covered his head with a blanket and refused to communicate with outsiders. Not long after, the doctor came in to give him an injection. Seongji nervously reached out his hand. Yoon-shil immediately realized that this arm did not resemble Goo-jun's. Seongji was exposed. Just as Seongji was scolded by Yoon-shil, Sejong bravely rushed in to argue with Yoon-shil. Luckily, Goo-jun called to tell him that he was safe. He also said that he would obediently return to Seoul. Thanks to that, Seongji and Ha-jung were not punished. Seongyi returned the money he had received earlier to Mrs. Yoon-shil. He unconditionally supported Goo-jun's decision, so Seongji felt very awkward when he received the money. Ha-jung and Seongji's honest nature made Yoon-shil's attitude change slightly. On the other side, Rara told Goo-jun to be obedient when he returned. Then she took out a photo of him and his friend and asked him why he hid the fact that he had known her before. At the performance, the best friend had told Goo-jun that he really liked Rara. At that time, Goo-jun was also attracted to Rara. Goo-jun slowly approached Rara by holding her arm. Unexpectedly, Rara turned around and avoided her. Before saying goodbye, the two promised that they would never let go. The next day, Mrs. Yoon-shil brought Goo-jun dinner as usual. Not only did Yoon-shil find out that her son was eating normally again, she also found out that he had started studying hard. Goo-jun got his phone back from his mother with a positive attitude. The tutor responded to Yoon-shil that Goo-jun had regained the knowledge he had missed. It was just that he wanted to major in mathematics, not medicine. The tutor comforted Yoon-shil that as long as Goo-jun was willing to study, that was good enough. The matter of choosing a major could be discussed later. All of this was thanks to Goo-jun regaining contact with Rara. Except for Goo-jun studying hard and occasionally getting nosebleeds, life gradually returned to normal. One day, Seongji was teaching Rara to ride a bike, but halfway through, he let go. Unexpectedly, Rara fell and broke her leg. Goo-jun was extremely worried and ran to the hospital to visit her. He stayed until evening and missed the meal with the tutor today. After sending the tutor home, the director angrily asked the son if he had gone to see that divorced woman. It seemed that the director still needed to handle everything. Yoon-shil quickly stopped him and said that she had a way. The next day, the regular customers in the hair salon heard that Rara and the director's wife were meeting. They guessed that Yoon-shil might throw water on Rara like in the movies. Soo-kyung suggested that everyone prepare a way to deal with unexpected situations. Soo-kyung would be Rara's mother to support her. One person threatened with a glare. One person wore a raincoat to cut off water for Rara. One person held the money that Yoon-shil gave. Soo-kyung argued with Yoon-shil. Everyone went to the restaurant to reserve a seat. Not long after, Yoon-shil and Rara arrived at the restaurant, but the scene that the others had imagined did not appear. Yoon-shil used her identity as a mother to ask Rara to give up Goo-jun so that he could return to a normal life. Rara also agreed with her. Rara took out a thick stack of cash and asked Yoon-shil to pay back this debt to Goo-jun. Yoon-shil put away the money she was going to take out. Yoon-shil accepted Rara's offer. The peaceful atmosphere mixed with bitterness made the people who were secretly following her feel extremely heartbroken. After returning home, Soo-kyung asked Rara where she got so much money. Rara replied that she sold her favorite car. Rara's eyes turned red and said that people have to give up precious things to lie. Soo-kyung pitifully hugged her. The next day, Rara went to Seoul to find Goo-jun. They had a delicious meal together. They also bought jewelry at a roadside stall and sat by the river holding hands. Rara looked at the young man in front of her with longing and made her final request. She wanted to ride a bike with him. Goo-jun went to borrow the bike. Rara tried to hold back her tears. Unexpectedly, after Goo-jun returned, Rara was nowhere to be seen. She only left a letter. The content of the letter was Rara's message to Goo-jun. She hoped that Goo-jun could continue living his current life and not be sad about her. Therefore, Rara was determined to break up with Goo-jun. The two of them would definitely meet again in the future. Rara sent a message to Do-do-sun, Sun Lala-sun, to inform her that she had broken up with Goo-jun. Dr. Cha read it and intentionally waited for Rara on the side of the road. The two of them sat on a swing and talked. Dr. Cha said that the first time he met Rara was at the graduation music festival. At that time, he was immersed in a whirlwind of work. Every day, Dr. Cha had to take medicine to sleep. He, with an expressionless face, burst out laughing when he heard Rara's absurd performance. After that, the two of them met at Yunpo. Dr. Cha felt more and more that Rara was worthy of his affection. He asked Rara to be happy again. Dr. Cha also gave Rara ranunculus flowers. This flower means, I will make you happy. Rara also said that she had known that Dr. Cha was her online friend. The two smiled at each other. 6 months later, Ha-jung and Seongji knelt before their mothers. They did not do so to admit their love, but they took out a business plan. They wanted their mothers to give them college tuition to invest in their business. Elsewhere, Goo-jun went to the hospital for a checkup. He heard Jung-nam mention Dr. Cha's remarriage, but what surprised Goo-jun was that the bride was Rara, so Goo-jun quickly ran out. The church was filled with congratulatory music. Under the witness of Manbok, Dr. Cha and Rara exchanged rings. arms. The two walked away, arm in arm. Suddenly, Gujun rushed into the church and dragged Rara away from the scene while everyone cheered. At this time, Jeongnam and Nurse Kim also drove up. They saw Gujun and Rara running out again. Jeongnam saw this and immediately exclaimed that Rara's life was really special. 6 months ago, Hajong and Songji told their mother about their business plan. They wanted to organize a wedding planning company called Happy Wedding. The two were very confident about the company's future development. Very quickly, the company was built in the Rara playground. The way to promote the company was definitely to film the complete wedding process of a new couple. Hajong quickly smiled and said that he could find someone to play the role of the bride and groom. So Dr. Cha and Rara had to pretend to hold a wedding ceremony, but the poses and expressions of the two people in the photoshoot looked awkward, so the photoshoot was not very smooth. Hajong and Songji modeled for them. The atmosphere between the two was very sweet. Then the photoshoot was posted on social media. Just then, Jeongnam saw it and exclaimed in surprise. Gujun, who was standing next to him, heard it. He frowned and quickly ran to the wedding scene. At this time, MC Min-soo announced the start of the wedding ceremony. Rara walked into the church with Dr. Cha in her arms. Everyone sitting there applauded and cheered, and the scene was also live-streamed online. When the bride and groom exchanged rings, Hajong even posted the address to buy the ring on the interface. The golden keyboard clattered. Suddenly, Gujun rushed in. He didn't say anything but snatched Rara away. Netizens were fascinated by this plot twist. They commented that this was a drama. Meanwhile, Songji reluctantly turned off the live stream. The fleeing figures of Gujun and Rara were seen by Jeongnam and Nurse Kim. Jeongnam was amazed by Rara's unique love life. Nurse Kim hurriedly went to see Dr. Cha. Elsewhere, Rara discovered her favorite car that she sold at Gujun's place. The two drove to the beach. Gujun also knew the truth about the wedding. Gujun also saw netizens' reviews of him. They called Gujun the one who ended the wedding. After that, went barefoot to play on the beach. Gujun gently hugged Rara and expressed his longing through a kiss. That night, Dr. Cha, Nurse Kim and Jeongnam gathered outside. Ever since Jeongnam left Rara, he had never stopped going on blind dates. Dr. Cha said that Jeongnam didn't ask anything about Rara, which made him very upset. Nurse Kim next to him suggested going to Dr. Cha's house to check it out. Unexpectedly, he immediately objected. After returning home, Dr. Cha saw food already cooked on the table. Next to it was a note full of love, on which was written, "It's very late. Remember to reheat the soup and eat it." Dr. Cha smiled as he looked at the bedroom and remembered the conversation with Rara. That day, Dr. Cha told Rara directly that he wasn't her online friend. The two of them went to the piano store together. They wanted to find out the true identity of the person who gave Rara the piano. Unexpectedly, the piano store had moved. Each profession has its own specialty, so they gave this task to Min-soo. Min-soo took the opportunity to offer to rent a house with Dr. Cha so that he could be closer to Suk-kyung. Dr. Cha didn't have time to think because he was defeated by Rara's leading eyes. Min-soo successfully entered Dr. Cha's house. Dr. Cha was originally quite dissatisfied with his roommate, but when he thought about eating the delicious food Min-soo cooked, his attitude immediately changed. At this time, Gujun and Rara returned to Rara's playground. Rara was curious why her favorite car was at Gujun's place. This had to be said since Gujun received the debt that Rara had paid. Originally, when Gujun received the money, Gujun was in a very heavy mood, but he discovered the car purchase contract inside. This made Gujun laugh. At this time, Rara realized that she had accidentally put the contract in there. The next day, Rara discovered that the cup of love tea her parents left behind was missing. It turned out that Gujun had secretly taken it away. In another place, Min-soo went to find the piano shop owner. Dr. Cha took care of him and saw him off at the door. Dr. Cha then turned around and muttered that he was like sending his wife off. Min-soo quickly found information from the piano shop owner. The person who gave the piano to Rara was Kim Man-bok. Rara excitedly ran to the flower garden and saw Mr. Man-bok lying on the ground. She immediately took him to the hospital. Not long after, Kim Man-bok's son arrived at the hospital. Rara also told Gujun about Mr. Man-bok fainting. Rara shared the news that the Sol Lala son was Kim Man-bok with Gujun, but Mr. Man-bok's son planned to sell his house. Rara's hair salon and playground were at a loss. Everyone sat down to discuss a plan. They suggested that Rara find her father's secretary when he was alive and borrow money. The task of getting the secretary's contact information was taken over by Min-soo. He said he had other intentions. Min-soo used 3 opportunities to eat with Suk-kyung to deduct his fee. Suk-kyung was stunned and then arrogantly gave him 3 spoons. The two sides made a successful transaction. Min-soo did not disappoint everyone's expectations. He quickly found the secretary and took pictures as evidence. The regular customers discovered that the well-dressed secretary might have taken Rara's father's property. Finally, Suk-kyung told Hajong and Rara to go talk. Hajong and Rara arrived in Seoul. They hid somewhere and secretly observed. The two discovered that the secretary was struggling with a woman in the car. Immediately after that, the director called for a stop. Cha. Only then did the two realize that this was a film set. The secretary led them to a restaurant to sit down. He explained the reason for losing contact with Rara. While filming on the yacht, the secretary accidentally dropped his phone. Rara asked why the secretary became an actor. He said that it came from his desire to pursue his dream and his confidence in his acting skills. The secretary then took out a wad of money from the ATM and said that his current earning ability was not enough, so he could only give Rara this much. Rara was moved to tears. Ha-jung saw this scene and knew that the secretary was a good person. Elsewhere, Song-ji told Gu-jun that Man-bok's son wanted to sell the Rara playground. Gu-jun immediately asked his mother to let him go to Unpo. When Gu-jun went to the hospital room to visit Man-bok, he ran into Dok Cha. The two rarely had a happy conversation. Gu-jun told Dok Cha to hide his whereabouts from Rara because he had also agreed with her not to be distracted before the exam. The next day, Ha-jung and Song-ji found that many netizens had watched the wedding video. Some even asked about the wedding. The two of them hugged each other excitedly. Then they excitedly announced the news to Rara. At the same time, Suk-hyun loudly announced that Dr. Cha would buy Man-bok's house. Everyone was extremely happy. At this time, Gu-jun was choosing a ring at the jewelry store when suddenly a beautiful girl named Jung Ga-eun called him over. Unlike her enthusiasm, Gu-jun was very cold. At school, Jung-gun loved to do small things to attract the attention of Gu-jun's dead friend. Stealing drinks or playing tennis were no big deal. She also wanted to study mathematics at Massachusetts or Stanford with Gu-jun's best friend. At this time, Jung Ga-eun was asking Gu-jun why he didn't keep his promise to study abroad with his friend and why he chose to be with an ordinary girl. Obviously, she had seen the wedding video. Seeing her keep asking questions like that made Gu-jun feel impatient, but Ga-eun said that person she liked was Gu-jun, not his friend. She did those things just to attract Gu-jun's attention. In the Rara playground, Rara pointed out that Song-ji was secretly in love with Hae-jung. Song-ji immediately spat out her juice. Suk-hyun was having a customer complaint. The female customer insisted that the failed date was because of her hairstyle. She asked Suk-hyun to refund the money. Suk-hyun gently negotiated with her, but Ha-jung couldn't stand her mother always being humiliated like that. Ha-jung used her own money to chase the customer away. Suk-hyun taught her that money is not easy to earn. If Suk-hyun didn't give up her pride, how could she have raised Ha-jung to be like this? Ha-jung blamed herself and angrily walked out the door. Just then, Min-soo came to find Suk-hyun. He saw her tear-stained face, so Min-soo suggested using the right to eat together. He took a knife and cut the fried egg into a heart shape. Suk-hyun saw that and felt happier. The two talked about Dr. Cha. Min-soo said he had no resistance to delicious food. One time Min-soo discovered that there was only a little bit of the food he cooked left. He couldn't help but admire Dr. Cha's big stomach. Elsewhere, Dr. Cha discovered that his medicine box was gone. He guessed that it might have fallen into his ex-wife's car during their last meeting. He quickly called Nurse Kim and asked her to help him find it. Not long after, Nurse Kim discovered the medicine box in the car. The medicine inside surprised her. Nurse Kim quickly asked Jong-nam to check the ingredients of the medicine. Jong-nam recalled his conversation with Dr. Cha. He strongly suspected that Dr. Cha had a terminal illness. In the evening, Song-ji also found Ha-jung running away from home. He also gave her a bag of beer. Song-ji told Ha-jung to bring it home to comfort her mother's wounded soul. Suk-hyun was looking for prenatal music in the house. She told Rara about the past. When she was pregnant, Ha-jung was only 20 years old. Because her husband ran away, Suk-hyun went into a music store alone. Thanks to music, Suk-hyun had the courage to prepare to be a single mother. She was only sad for a moment, then got up and went to cook Ha-jung's favorite dish. Rara contacted Ha-jung, said that Suk-hyun was preparing a delicious meal. Ha-jung heard that and rushed home. At the dining table, the three of them listened to music and ate happily. The next day, Gu-jun finished his exam and hurriedly went on a date with Rara. But while Gu-jun was leaving, he was stopped by Jung Ga-eun. Because Jung Ga-eun's car was blocking traffic, Gu-jun had to go with her in the car. Gu-jun drank the coffee she prepared and passed out. Rara was still patiently waiting for Gu-jun to arrive at the restaurant. At Unpo, when Ha-jung cleaned Rara's room, she discovered her and Song-yi's wish box. 10 years ago, the two children write their wishes and put them in the box. They promised to give a gift to the person who fulfilled the wish. Now Ha-jung violently broke the box. She discovered that her wish was to marry a certain elementary school friend. Song-yi's wish was to love Ha-jung. As night fell, Song-ji suddenly called Ha-jung. Song-ji told her to go to the hair salon to cut his hair. Ha-jung looked confused but still arrived on time. She discovered that the room was filled with colorful balloons and strings that said, "I love you." The screen started playing a video that Song-ji made. It recorded the little things when the two were together. Ha-jung was touched by his sincerity. She blew up candles on the cake. This action means that the two of them are officially in love. Then she gently kissed him on the cheek. Ha-jung said that this was a gift for Song-ji to fulfill her wish. Elsewhere, Rara couldn't wait for Gu-jun, so she went to his gate to check on the situation. Rara saw Jung Ga-eun bring Gu-jun home and prepared to leave. Jung Ga-eun noticed Rara's presence, so she immediately mocked Rara. Then Jung Ga-eun ordered Rara to break up with Gu-jun. Rara tried to hold back her annoyance and said that she wouldn't do as Jung Ga-eun wanted. The next day, Jung-nam checked the ingredients of the medicine that Dr. Cha took. Jung-nam said that the medicine was just Dr. Cha's vitamins. Nurse Kim was lucky to see Dr. Cha healthy. At the same time, she lost control of her emotions and burst into tears. Suddenly, the two of them saw Gu-jun enter the director's office. Jung-nam remembered that Gu-jun was the director's son. Jung-nam felt a huge headache because Gu-jun and Rara were in love after all. Nurse Kim suggested that Jung-nam tell his mother about this. Meanwhile, Ha-jung and Sung-ji knew that Gu-jun might be having an affair. They wanted to confirm the credibility of this news, so Ha-jung and Sung-ji went to find Min-soo. The two of them used a trick to get him to investigate this matter for free. Not long after, Min-soo and his gang followed Gu-jun. Jung Ga-in noticed two tall men hiding behind a billboard, so Min-soo was caught red-handed by Gu-jun. Gu-jun thought that Min-soo was sent here by his mother to follow him. At this time, Rara was uneasy. Under the advice of Dr. Cha, Rara was about to listen to Gu-jun's explanation before making a decision. Elsewhere, Min-soo secretly took pictures of Gu-jun and Jung Ga-eun. He threw the pile of pictures in front of Ha-jung and Sung-ji. Ha-jung was angry and wanted to personally ask why Gu-jun was having an affair, but Min-soo smiled wickedly and said that there is no eternal love. Unexpectedly, Rara heard everyone's conversation. She saw her lover walking with another girl. Rara was in a very bad mood. Suddenly, Gu-jun called and asked Rara to meet at the restaurant. Rara tried to smile and sat across from Gu-jun, but Rara's expectations were crushed when Gu-jun suggested breaking up. Rara was in pain and cried but could not hold on to her lover. Gu-jun walked out of the restaurant. He stood outside the window and stared at Rara, who was crying. In the end, Gu-jun still resolutely left. The next day, it rained heavily. Yoon-shil saw Gu-jun staying in the room. Meanwhile, Rara sat in front of the piano and recalled the beautiful times with Gu-jun. Not long after, Rara's tears were streaming down her face. Suddenly, Rara received an international call. Rara found out that it was music teacher Mi-soo. She felt like she had found a place to rest her mind and cried. When Rara knew that the teacher was about to return to Korea, Rara deliberately asked for information about the flight to pick her up. The day Mi-soo returned to Korea, Rara accidentally met Gu-jun at the airport. Jung Ga-eun was walking next to Gu-jun. What made people angry was that Gu-jun pretended not to see Rara. He calmly walked past her shoulder. Gu-jun went abroad with Jung Ga-eun. Rara was shocked and muttered Gu-jun's name. At the gate of the international flight, Gu-jun didn't say goodbye to Jung Ga-in. It turned out that Gu-jun ignored Rara, and his intimate appearance with Jung Ga-eun was just an act. It seemed like he had something to say. On the other side of the airport, Rara picked up her music teacher. Rara happily hugged Mi-soo. Gu-jun stood from afar and watched Rara intently. Not long after, Rara led Mi-soo to the Rara playground. Mi-soo also knew that Rara had gone through hardships like her father's death. Her benefactor was hospitalized and her boyfriend broke up with her. Mi-soo encouraged Rara to dispel her sadness by playing the piano. A sorrowful sound came from Rara's fingertips. Mi-soo felt sympathy and hugged her. Then, amidst everyone's enthusiastic greetings, Soo-kyung finished Mi-soo's hairdo to welcome Hyun-po. In the evening, Rara expressed her doubts to Mi-soo. Rara wondered if Mi-soo would teach someone with ordinary talent like her without her father's support. Mi-soo gently said that Rara was different. Her music could give strength to others. That year, Mi-soo's husband's business failed, so she was discouraged, but it was Rara's piano playing that helped her find her smile again. Later, Mi-soo invited Rara to the university where she taught to do research. At the same time, Mi-soo wanted Rara to be her teaching assistant. Rara decided to think about it. Since Dr. Cha refused to let Nurse Kim visit, her paranoia had become more and more serious. She suspected that he was hiding women in his house, so Nurse Kim decided to go to his house to find out. Unexpectedly, the person who opened the door was a muscular man wearing a red apron. Min-soo politely brought out the fruit. He said a few words to scare Nurse Kim. Then Min-soo gave out her business card to attract customers, but that plan was ruined by Dr. Cha. Dr. Cha took the medicine box back from Nurse Kim. He used the excuse that he had an appointment with someone else to refuse to have dinner with her. Actually, Rara had made an appointment with Dr. Cha to discuss whether she should stay at Rara Playground. This place was filled with beautiful memories between Rara and Gu-jun. Those memories also made her feel miserable. While Rara was hesitating, Dr. Cha said that the person who bought this house was Gu-jun, not him. It turned out that Gu-jun wanted to take back Rara Playground from Man-bok's son. Gu-jun did not hesitate to promise his mother that he would study medicine. Yoon-shil asked Dr. Cha to buy this house. After Rara listened to Dr. Cha's analysis, Rara discovered the reason why Gu-jun broke up. On the other side, Nurse Kim was worried that Rara would fall in love with Dr. Cha after breaking up with Gu-jun, so Nurse Kim asked Min-soo to secretly follow Rara. While the two were negotiating the deposit, Rara and Dr. Cha rushed over. Rara asked Min-soo to tell her the truth about the photo of Gu-jun. Jun cheating, Min-soo had no choice but to reveal that Gu Jun asked him to take fake photos. Min-soo also said that Gu Jun seemed to be having a hard time, so he quickly broke up with Rara. At this time, Gu Jun was packing his luggage. Yoon-shil looked at him with tearful eyes. It turned out that the last time Gu Jun didn't intentionally miss his appointment with Rara, he fell into a coma in Jung Go-eun's car and was taken home. Later, Yoon-shil discovered that Gu Jun had leukemia. Yoon-shil comforted the shocked Gu Jun that nothing would happen. Since Gu Jun didn't want to implicate Rara, he broke up with her. At this time, Yoon-shil gently told Gu Jun that when he recovered, he could date Rara. He was his mother's most precious treasure. The two hugged each other tightly. They were both filled with fear for the distant future. Rara looked at the photo that Min-soo took and felt that the jacket Gu Jun was wearing was a bit familiar. Rara suddenly remembered that she and Gu Jun had met by chance in the spring of 2019. At that time, Rara really wanted to buy the only remaining box of watermelon in the store, but the man in front of her also wanted to buy it. Rara shouted loudly but couldn't, but she realized that she was being rude, so she smiled. The man was Gu Jun. He gave the box of watermelon to Rara. She was very grateful, but when Rara paid, she found that her wallet was gone. Gu Jun generously said he would pay Rara back. It turned out that that was the beginning of Rara's debt. Rara now remembered everything. She hurriedly went to find Gu Jun, but she didn't know his new phone number. After Rara knew that Gu Jun was going to study abroad from his cram school, she rushed to his house. At this time, Gu Jun had already gotten in the car and left. The two of them happened to pass each other. Rara wasn't focused on walking on the road. She passed by the coffee shop where they first met. Rara discovered that the shop was called Do Do, Sol Sol, La La Sol. Only then did she know that Gu Jun was her savior. Rara sent a message to Gu Jun on social media with complicated feelings. She didn't expect him to actually come to the coffee shop. Gu Jun said he fell in love with Rara at first sight. After the two of them first met at a coffee shop, Gu Jun often came here, looking forward to the next meeting. But when Gu Jun met Rara again at the graduation performance, his friend said he liked Rara first, so Gu Jun could only hide his feelings deep inside. After Rara was rejected, Gu Jun told her to go to Eunpo. Because of the traffic accident, the two became even more attached. After a period of contact, the two gradually developed feelings for each other. The piano was bought by Man-bot for Rara. He knew that the two were seeing each other, so he intentionally signed it as Do Do Sun Sun La La Sun. After that, Gu Jun and Rara made an appointment to meet. He originally wanted to go to the appointment with Man-bot, but the plan was disrupted by Min-soo. Gu Jun said he didn't want Rara to discover his identity because Gu Jun had to go to a very far place. He didn't want her to be bound by memories. In the end, Gu Jun couldn't give up on Rara. He asked his mother to give him 2 days. Gu Jun went with Rara to the amusement park to play with everyone one last time. As night fell, Gu Jun asked Rara what punishment she would receive if she didn't practice seriously. Rara listed many different punishments. Then Rara personally carried them out. She tiptoed and hugged Gu Jun and quoted what Mi-suk said, "As long as a person can endure the painful moment, they will definitely receive a good result." Then Gu Jun expressed his wish for Rara to wash his hair. He also mentioned the time when they met at Eunpo. However, this time the waiter was Rara. What surprised Rara was that Gu Jun suddenly took out the pair of rings that had been prepared in advance. He personally put the rings on her. Gu Jun hoped that Rara would never take them off. Late at night, Gu Jun lulled her to sleep. Gu Jun looked at the girl in his arms, his heart filled with thoughts. Soon the day of parting arrived. Gu Jun used the excuse of studying abroad to temporarily leave Rara. The two hugged each other goodbye in front of the security gate. When Gu Jun left, he secretly made up his mind that he would definitely come back to see Rara one day. Not long after, the Rara Playground's private social media channel was opened. Gu Jun sent a congratulatory message from his hospital bed, and the Rara Playground's business was also growing steadily. She bragged to her roommate that she would buy a second piano. People around were sighing that Rara and Gu Jun were in a passionate love period, but the two were separated in 2 places. This love was really not easy. Suk-kyung laughed and said that the two of them called each other every day and talked very enthusiastically. The phone was about to explode. Indeed, 2 people who were passionately in love were always on their phones. It seemed like they wanted to use the phone to shorten the distance. Gu Jun was fighting his illness. He asked Rara to sing him a lullaby. Gu Jun wanted to receive strength from his lover's voice. Early this morning, the doctor told Rara the good news that Man-bok had woken up. Rara rushed to the hospital to visit him. Previously, Mr. Man-bok received the CD that Gu Jun sent. It was his principle to repay a favor. That's why he used Gu Jun's name to give Rara a piano. Rara gave Man-bok the letter that Gu Jun left behind. Then Dr. Cha said that Gu Jun asked him to take care of Rara. Dr. Cha saw that Rara was happy every day. She even bragged about her and Gu Jun to Dr. Cha. Thanks to that, he was also reassured. Rara was also getting more and more skillful. Suk-kyung and Ha-jung came home and saw her making kimbap. The 3 of them suddenly mentioned Gu Jun. Rara immediately mentioned her sweet love story with Gu Jun. Rara accidentally said that Ha-jung also had a boyfriend. Ha-jung quickly covered Rara's mouth with his hand. Ha-jung changed the subject to deceive his mother. The three of them discussed the plan. They wanted to use the name of a Christmas concert to have Rara propose to Gujun. Not long ago, Rara started filming a video teaching Gujun to play the piano. She played 12 rhythms based on the song Avus DJ Maman. They planned to play together in the concert. Rara asked Jae-min and Dr. Cha to prepare a set list for the concert. Christmas soon arrived under everyone's anticipation. Rara's friends had gathered all over the house. In the warm room filled with the aroma of food and the Christmas atmosphere, everyone was waiting for Gujun to arrive. Snow was falling all over the sky, but he still didn't show up. Gujun texted Rara to report that the snowstorm had delayed the flight. Gujun asked Rara to open the video he had paired. That video would replace Gujun's performance with Rara, so Rara could only announce the start of the concert. Dr. Cha started playing his piece. His charm radiated around, captivating Nurse Kim. When the piece ended, Nurse Kim even stood up to praise him. Then the genius boy Jae-min also started to play. His hand speed and skillful technique made everyone present there scared. His father was also proud of him. The last piece of music would be played by Rara and Gujun in the video together. The cheerful notes played in the room, and gentle memories appeared in Rara's mind. After the performance ended, Manbok knew the truth and tears fell like rain. The people around him all thought that he was moved by Rara and Gujun's sincerity. Manbok had known for a long time that Gujun had leukemia through the letter he sent at Gujun's request. Manbok only kept it a secret from Rara. After the concert ended, Rara returned to the redecorated Rara playground. Rara told Mimi about the anticipation that Gujun brought. Unexpectedly, Yoon-shil came here. Her face was very not good. She spoke nonsense that was not clear at all. Rara suddenly felt that something might have happened to Gujun. However, Yoon-shil tearfully said that Gujun was seriously ill and would not be able to come here anymore. Rara found it hard to believe that Gujun would just die, but Rara was told that today's performance video was recorded a month ago. She held the return double cup and a pre-written letter. Rara cried in pain without making a sound. Everyone who received the news of his death was extremely sad. Seokyeong and Hajou hugged each other and cried loudly. Seongju recalled the last conversation between him and Gujun. Dr. Cha also cried loudly because of Gujun's death. Rara sat alone on the mountaintop and cried loudly. In the letter, Gujun asked her to forget him and live a new life, but that deep feeling had seeped into Rara's bones. How could she forget it so easily? 5 years later, in Rara's playground, there were many more piano books and trophies, but the biggest change was the addition of a child. Mimi was also promoted to aunt. After talking to the child's father, Rara happily went out. In Suk-kyung's house, Ha-jung and his wife were arguing, but after Rara brought the child in, they immediately stopped. The child's father carried his daughter into the living room. The young couple argued, and everyone quickly reconciled. The banquet table was filled with laughter. The atmosphere was very lively. Rara said she was honored to join this big family. Everyone also praised Rara for becoming the most famous piano teacher in Yunpo. She also trained a musical genius, Jae-min. He has now gone to Germany. Jae-min will definitely become a famous pianist in the future. Seokyeong suddenly mentioned Gujun and Manbok with sympathy. She told Rara not to forget those two people. Under everyone's advice, Rara raised her glass to celebrate. She raised her cup to thank this beautiful time. Nurse Kim, who had been pursuing her for 5 years, finally moved Dr. Cha. He gave her a potted plant and said that they could take care of it together in the future, so they became a beautiful couple again. The two hugged each other affectionately. The next day, Rara played a song dedicated to Gujun. She also missed him in her heart. Suddenly, a figure appeared outside the Rara playground. It was Gujun returning. He quickly ran to the door and stopped to fix his clothes. Gujun walked in, both worried and excited. Rara looked at Gujun, rubbing his eyes with disbelief. Then she excitedly ran to hug him. Finally, this pair of lovers with a difficult fate met. On the mountaintop, Rara punched Gujun. She asked him, feeling wrong, why he didn't come back sooner. Gujun smiled indulgently and said that he had to be patient until he fully recovered, maybe because his condition worsened at that time. Gujun lied to Rara that he had died. Unexpectedly, Gujun's illness was cured. Under the bright starlight, they shared a sweet kiss. That kiss was like a key to keep the other person by their side forever. Today's movie ends here. See you again in the next videos.